Yes, please.
Thank you for your attention in that way.
You were so cute last night. Oh, applause. Wow.
It was pretty
He was.
unexpected.
It was pretty.
Didn't
You're
expect
so cute.
It was pretty fun for sure.
it. Good.
And payment.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I didn't think we were gonna get $100 out of that. That was cool. It's all good.
I mean, I'm sure that I told you at some point they're
Maybe
splitting the
you
door
did.
fee with us,
I
but
didn't. I just didn't care. Think about it. I
yeah,
guess. Yeah.
yeah, we weren't doing it
The
for money.
one thing last night that I talked about that I realized from doing the videos I don't really emphasize enough is this question of choice and about how this work opens up choices.
Yeah.
And I was really clear with that woman, like, yeah, you will go back to your old ways if you don't make a new choice in your life. And just like, like me getting over my shyness, it took me making a new choice to at least attempt to speak to women. Even though it wasn't in my consciousness, I was so blown away, I still had to go out and talk to girls and find out that I was now okay.
Well, that bar
that's-
scene happened spontaneously for you
It did.
immediately, but then you had to reinforce it
Yeah,
with choice.
right. And that's not something I've emphasized so much in the past, and I think many times people like get a session maybe and then
And I think it's gonna
and they think, okay, I'm good now, but then they don't go out consciously make a new choice, and then a month later or whatever, they're back to their old ways and they think it didn't work,
All right, so I have a question.
Yeah.
Tita and I were talking in the car last night, and I had a session with you yesterday.
Uh,
So I remember the limiting thought that you discovered.
okay.
I don't remember the corrected thought.
Okay.
Tita was saying that in her sessions, before an actual memory appears of what the cause is or what the back story is, it releases, and she's experienced change in her life without having access to what it was that changed.
Mhm.
So that doesn't sound like choice. That sounds like shift happened. And in my session, I'm also wondering, like, okay, I remember the negative thought. I don't remember the turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even remember the thing that we released,
Mhm.
even though we talked about it. I guess I could
Mhm.
probably access it right now. But I don't remember the turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
So, choice. And how do I build on that without remembering?
Can I add a little bit to that before you reply?
Uh-huh.
So I don't experience immediate change. I see change reflected back at me, and I can kind of observe it as I go. I don't get off the table with that much change, but that's good. I mean, because it's like it's the new normal so fast that I don't even like have a chance to compare. I don't, But all the rest of that is accurate about my experience.
Yeah, so it's not generated. She's not reinforcing it by saying, okay, now I have to choose differently. At least that's
Mhm.
not what I'm hearing. But she's just noticing shift is occurring over time in a very organic way.
Yeah, and I've had that happen for myself too, where the example I give of that girl who rejected me, I get, like when that happened, I saw the picture, I saw her face laughing at me. And that was really like a lot for me. But there was also plenty of times when something got adjusted and I had no idea what Patrick was talking about, but there was changes. Like I noticed changes in the way people were treating me, say strangers on the street or even my friends, and noticing that maybe my mind was a little quieter. Even though
Yeah.
what he adjusted on my leg or whatever, like, I didn't really, I mean, I gave him the authority to do it because it's Patrick, and I'd like, of course, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, but at the same time, I never would get a picture or even a recollection or anything at all.
But choice is also there's the choice. A lot of times, I think people think, maybe not as even with this work, but in general, that you have to try really hard.
Yeah, well,
choice is more like it's not like trying. It's like you come to a fork in
have
the
the
road.
option.
You go one way. The option's open. It's
Right.
not like a struggle. You just do it
Right,
Yeah.
because it's available.
right.
Well, I do want to maximize on the possibility
Mhm.
of what was given to me yesterday,
Yeah,
like in an intentional way.
yeah. And I don't remember what the positive was either, but it would have been the opposite of whatever the negative was. So if I can't, then it becomes, I am or I
It
can.
was I can't achieve.
Yeah. So it's I am achieving. I don't know if that's what we said yesterday,
I don't know.
but actually, not only is it I am achieving, but it's I have achieved. Look what you have achieved.
Well, yeah, that's definitely true.
And
It's easy, you know,
But-
we achieved this much, but we want to achieve this much, then there's a gap in the circle, you know. But really, just shrink your circle, and wow, you know, think, you know, how many people in the world have achieved with themselves what you have achieved with yourself,
I get it.
right?
I
On-
get it.
I can count them
And
on
with- and
two
with
hands
people.
or one hand.
And
Yeah.
and the work that I've done that has
Yeah.
saved lives and
Yeah,
transformed
yeah.
lives, and the evidence, the evidence, the evidence.
Yeah.
But going forward,
Uh-huh.
I have limited myself dramatically.
Yeah.
You know,
In the
Um,
past.
up until last week. You know, and I would like to go forward doing that differently.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just a strong wish,
Yeah.
and I don't
It,
even.
it might be called California.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I feel so. Good here.
Yeah.
It's a good place.
Good. So the
Yeah,
point
yeah.
I'm choosing to make is simply that when, you know, this 10-month program is about you learning how to teach the class yourself. And this is a good point to notice, is that this private training, it's about creating more options and more choices for people. It's not about healing them. It's not about they get on the table and suddenly magically their life is completely changed, because it isn't. All that's shifted is their relationship to some particular group of memories in their past. The actual shift has to happen out in real life when they can make a new choice, or notice that new choices are available. Sometimes noticing that new choices are available is enough. Usually, though, we have to actually make the new choice and see what it's like and find out that it's safe. Otherwise, ego pulls us back into the old ways. And
Are you recording this? Because this is good.
I am. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say about it, other than it gets to be emphasized more than I have been emphasizing that in the
I think
past.
I think
And
that's
I know I
the
always
line.
say it, but I think people are just like, okay, yeah, but heal me. They don't really think, they're not really considering that it's not just words coming out of my mouth, you know, like they actually have to make the choice.
Yeah,
They
this
actually
is
have
an
to find-
interactive
It's an-
sport.
Yeah, it's an interactive sport, and
Participatory.
But that's
it's
Fitz was emphasizing
participatory,
training
right?
rather
This is
than
actually
healing.
training. This is not a healing session. This is participatory, active, personal training, and it requires homework. you
But
know,
also
like you have to-
living. It's like you have to participate.